Hey everybody, welcome back to another Judgment commentary of Koimonogatari, but today we're going to be checking out the final episode of the arc, episode 6. But last time, on episode 5, there were a couple of interesting things of note there. One notable thing was that we learned from a conversation with Ononoki that Kaiki seems to have a bit more nuance to him than I initially suspected, which, duh, of course he was going to, but what we learned was very fascinating because, as it turns out, according to Ononoki, Kaiki, back when he was deceiving Senjigahara in the past and we thought that he just totally screwed her over, turns out he actually tried to go back and fix things. Not by helping her directly by taking out the crab or anything, no, he tried to just straight up demolish the cult that had indoctrinated her mom. And he succeeded. He destroyed the friggin' thing apparently, but unfortunately for both him and Senjigahara, his plan backfired and she just ended up getting indoctrinated into an even worse cult. So, yeah, that didn't pan out. But you have to appreciate the fact that he tried. He genuinely seemed to feel bad about what he did to her, so he tried to make it better, even if it made it worse. Ononoki said that he has, on multiple occasions, felt guilt for the things that he's done and tried to go back and fix it, but it just never works out. Anytime he tries to help people, it just makes things worse. But after that, he went to see Nadeko to put his plan into action to tell her that Araragi, Senjigahara, and Shinobu were all killed in a car accident simultaneously. And he was confident that he could fool Nadeko, and I thought there was a chance, obviously, that he could do it, but doesn't look like she bought it. He played it straight. He had the perfect pretense to bring it up in conversation as well, but the first thing she says when he says it is, "Oh great, you're going to deceive me too." And she didn't fall for it for a second. I don't know if she was ever going to fall for it. Honestly, given her reaction, it almost sounds like she was just never buying it. Like she was just playing him from the frickin' start. But we'll see how he backs this up. Maybe he can salvage it. I mean, this is Kaiki we're talking about. I'm sure he's got a plan B, because I'm sure even he was aware of the potential of him failing, so he's gotta have something, right? Man, I don't know, but since this is the last episode of a 6-part arc, I'm hyped to see how this all ends. Everything has just spiraled down pretty bad right at the last second, but you never know. You never know. Things might just turn out a-okay, right? Right. Okay then. Well, I can see why people have stated the opinion that this is their favorite arc, or at least one of their favorite arcs, because this was really good. Yeah. That's one thing Monogatari does really well, is build up, you know? It uses its masterfully crafted dialogue to set up the tension, and then usually within the last episode or two they drive the point home. And like always, this one did, and it drove the point home better than even a lot of the other really good arcs did. This was just fantastic. Kaiki's plan initially failed, but he still had his ace in the hole. She may not have been buying his story from even the start, but because he checked the closet, he had exactly what he needed to, actually manage to salvage it. I knew that he'd have some way to do it. This is Kaiki we were talking about, and yeah, he had a way. And his reaction to seeing what was in the closet is perfectly fitting. He's like, what the heck is this? Because it was just a few notebooks on the ground full of manga art. And he read a lot of it, apparently. I bet he read all of it. I loved the way everything just stopped when he said the manga artist thing. Like, she knew exactly what he meant when he said that, and just everything went to a standstill. And she had to rush out there and just start just smacking him in the face. And yeah, she may not have ever had a dream of becoming a manga artist, but it was something that she enjoyed doing. She spent a lot of time doing it, and she was good at it, according to him. Maybe some story beats he wasn't exactly fond of, but otherwise, he said she did a good job. And it ultimately ties back perfectly to what her main issue was. It was that she never tried to make herself more interesting. She was always complaining that everyone only saw her as being cute and innocent, and that there was nothing more to her. But instead of developing more parts of her personality, she just tried to conceal the parts that they were pointing out, which didn't work, and it just meant that that was all she had. If she had just gone all in on the manga stuff and just tied that into who she was instead of hiding it, it wouldn't have been a problem. Deep down, she did have more to her personality, but it was exceptionally well hidden. And also Araragi making a cameo appearance right there at the end. One time where I wasn't fully happy to see the guy, I was just like, dude, get out of here, you're gonna make things worse. I don't know why he even showed up. I guess he just independently decided to visit Nadeko that day, just by pure happenstance, and, well, fortunately he didn't make things worse. Kaiki was able to talk him down. And now, I guess Araragi can just stay out of her life, because really, unfortunately, he, as much as he doesn't like the idea, is a negative influence on her. She used him as a means of, again, not having to try. She could reject everybody because, oh, I'm in love with Araragi, I can't be with you. But without Araragi in the picture, she has a shot. Truly, Kaiki's speech towards her was inspirational, man. I mean, that was some deep friggin' stuff. I was feeling it. Kaiki, when he was introduced, seemed like naught but a non-caring, greedy slime ball who just wanted to manipulate his way into getting as much money as possible. But even he could not cover up the fact that he has a lot more nuance than his initial appearance would lead you to believe. He does care. He does have sentimentality. He does want to do the right thing, but of course, as he was alluding to, caring hurts. Having irreplaceable things like loved ones and friends is difficult. Because if you have something that's irreplaceable and you lose it, there will always be a void within you, and he doesn't want to deal with that. So, he dedicates his life to something that can be replaced very easily. Money. Money's like the wind. It comes and goes. That is genuinely one of the most nuanced reasons that I've ever seen to make someone like Kaiki. But of course, that is, in its own way, a weakness. An inability to connect with others because of a fear of those connections being severed. It is, all in all, not something that makes you strong, it makes you weak, but even still, it's a reasoning that you can understand and sympathize with. And he respected Senjigahara for continuing to become attached to people, to have loved ones even if they are lost, and even that she's able to move on after losing them, that she can treat the irreplaceable as somewhat replaceable to an extent. Because even if someone irreplaceable is lost, new connections can be made. You'll always miss those who have been lost to you, but it doesn't mean that new loved ones can't come into your life. And at the end of the day, he managed to go above and beyond, like I said, and save Nadeko outright. They weren't even asking him to necessarily do that. He was talking to Senjigahara about how, yeah, she would want him to do it, but it seemed infeasible, but he managed. Even though his plan initially started to backfire, he still did it. And at the end of the day, it was kind of good that it backfired, unless he could have implemented his manga artist's plan, even if she had believed him. But if he couldn't, I guess it worked in his favor that she didn't believe him. But I've been putting off talking about it. I wanted to talk about everything else first, but I gotta talk about it now. The ending. Everything about that was just so insane. Because how it all ties back is just... I can't even express how haunting that was. Kaiki was killed by a rogue junior high student who had previously duped. But not just any rogue junior high student. That was the one who he had sold a charm to, which was used against Nadeko, which Nadeko unintentionally activated. And it goes way back. This reaches way back to Bake. When Nadeko had both snakes, they dispelled one, but not the other. Araragi was incapable of taking care of that last snake. So he had no choice but to let it go. And in turn, they knew that it would curse the original person who tried to curse Nadeko in the first place. There was a 50-50 shot. It would either go to the guy who did it or the girl who did it. And it went to the guy. And all this time later, he's still cursed with the thing. And was vengeful towards Kaiki, blaming him for himself being cursed. Because of course he would. He had no idea what was going on. The kid had no freaking clue. He just uses the curse. He had no idea it even affected Nadeko, and then all of a sudden he's hit with the snake curse, of course. He's gonna blame Kaiki. And then Ogi steps in and tells him that Kaiki wasn't down. Probably even guided him to Kaiki. And then he murdered him in vengeful, hot blood. That is just crazy. To tie it all back in like that, to reach back to the Nadeko snake arc in Bake and bring back the kid who was cursed by the snake by Araragi not being able to exercise it? That is brilliant. I mean, just calling back to that alone and tying it into this arc so exquisitely, that automatically makes this one of the best arcs we've gotten. Just that alone. This episode just sold this arc so greatly, man. This is one of the best episodes of the entire series. I was enthralled with every last word of that. But at the same time, I'm dying inside because Kaiki, he got freaking killed, man. He's dead. But he died thinking, at least I got to make my money. That's Kaiki for you. Rest in peace, best girl. Yeah, the best girl memes are very apparent now, because he was one of the most well-written and nuanced characters we ever got. And they just expanded upon him so greatly in this arc that, yeah. He was one of those characters where while I was feeling animosity towards him early on, not even just beyond everyone's words, I could feel they're probably gonna do something to make me like him later. And they did. And man, the parallels between him and Nadeko are actually pretty in-depth. Like, right by the end, we got one last one where, like Nadeko, he was like putting up a facade, tricking people into believing he was more two-dimensional than he really was. Just like with Nadeko, Nadeko wasn't just a cute, innocent, little girl. She had more to her personality than she was letting on, and Kaiki was the same. He put up a facade that he was just a greedy swindler who didn't care about anybody and was only interested in making money. But there was a lot more to him than that. They each went about it in very different ways. Oh crap, my face cam froze. I hope I wasn't doing that for too long, but anyway, they each went about it in different ways, but at the heart of it, it was a similar circumstance, even if their reasons for doing so were different. But anyway, that's it for now, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed. Subscribe to be updated on more. That would be great. Next time, we're going to be having the final freaking arc of Season 2, Hana Monogatari. That's like a 5-episode one, right? I'm trying to open the folder to find out. Yep, 5. Slightly shorter than this one, but yeah, it was called Suruga Devil, was it not? Interesting. We didn't get that Araragi Devil arc, but we did get the Suruga Devil one. Can't wait to see what that one has in store for us, because genuinely, this arc blew me away. That last episode just sealed the deal entirely. That arc was really good. One of the most thought-provoking, fascinating character analyses that we've ever had. Kaiki did the impossible. He pulled off a solid win. He finally did something good for someone, and it went perfectly, and his reward for doing everything right was to get killed by a salty junior high kid. Ain't that just peachy? It was also Ogi's fault. So, yeah, thanks, Ogi. You're... I don't know how to feel about you. We'll find out more about that another time. So, once again, thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed the reactions to Koimonogatari. and I hope to catch you for Hana Monogatari. But till then, I will see you guys later.